hi and hello and welcome to the video. My name is Calista and this is my channel Calista Books, where I yap about books. I love to yap, and if you love books, please subscribe and leave a like. In this video we're going to be talking and reading books on series that I'm currently in the middle of. Because I'm on the edge of finishing 3 series right now, or being caught up on those 3 series, and we can't let that happen. We can't. So in this video we're gonna read 3 books together, and I'll bring you along in this reading vlog. And the first book we're gonna be reading is The Long Game by Rachel Reed. This is the 6th book in the series, and this book follows Shane and Ilya again. And I think this is like a couple of years later, because obviously there are other books happening in between Hidden Rivalry and The Long Game. So it's a couple of years later and they're still going strong. So the 7th book was supposed to come out, I think, in this year of September, but it got pushed back. So if I finish this, we will be all caught up, and we need that. We need that. We need the serotonin boost. I know you need it too. So here I am for that serotonin boost. The second book I have is Disintegrator by Rudix. This is the 6th and final book in the series. So we will be finishing a series. Very excited for that. It's a dark romance, and this will round up the entire plot. So very excited where it goes. And the third book we're going to be reading is Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh. This is the 6th book in Boys of Tommen. And so far there's no other book announced. So when we finish this brick of a book, we will be caught up with the 2nd series. And I need that. I need a serotonin boost. You do too. So let's get into the reading. And the first book, like I said, we will be picking up is The Long Game. And I will see you when I have an update. We are a day later. And like I said yesterday, I was gonna finish or gonna start on The Long Game. And I am halfway through. So far I'm really liking it. It follows Shane and Ilya, like I said, and their journey after Hidden Rivalry. And going through hiding their emotion or hiding their relationship and hiding everything. Like, they're still hiding who they are. I'm halfway. I don't know if I haven't already mentioned that, but I'm halfway. So far they are still hiding everything about them. I do want to say this book follows, or Ilya's story throughout this book is quite darker, I want to say. Like, obviously in Heated Rivalry you know what happens, or if you don't, I'm not gonna spoil, but stuff happens with him, and in this book he's dealing with it, and you follow him making terms with it, that he is not okay and that he needs the help. So you see him playing hockey and getting the help he needs. And then there's Shane, who doesn't know what he wants. Like, he's like, yeah, I want to come out, or he's like, I feel like Ilya's the one who is okay with coming out, and then Shane is being like, I don't know, he is a bit scared. I get it, you know, you're this big hockey player dating your arch rival. Yeah, I get it, but I don't know, I hope they will come out in this book, but I don't think so, because there is a third book coming with their story. But like I mentioned, I'm halfway, which is about chapter 21 and page 216. I do have the rest of the day off. I don't have to do anything. I am going over to my boyfriend's house here tonight. We're gonna cook dinner, we're gonna go to the gym, and then I have free reading time. But I think, with things looking how they are looking right now, that I will be finished with this book before he gets home from work. Because I still have like around 3.5 hours. And I read this pretty quickly. I'm reading this digitally. This is just a show. But I'm reading this or on Kindle or iPad, because I don't know, on my iPad this has like 287 pages. I'm like, you're gonna bet I can read that in a couple of hours. So far it's fun, and I will catch up with you when I have finished the book. Okay, we are, I think, 2 hours later, and I finished the book. I was debating on the rating I would give this book, because there were some parts of this really hitting me, because I tapped one part that I was tearing up. I wouldn't lie, I was tearing up, but I decided that I am gonna give this book a 4.5 stars, just because I feel some parts were too long, in my opinion, and I think there are good discussions in this book. This so far is my favorite book in the entire series, because I think it deals pretty good with what, you know, having peer pressure and being in the spotlight is being like being gay, being bisexual, in a sport that is actually not acceptable of any sort of queerness. And obviously in the other 5 books you discover that some people are okay with it, but for them it was a bigger problem because they are enemies, they are arch rivals, both on like 2 of the biggest teams. So obviously some people are not gonna be happy with them dating. But like I said, I do think the discussions they had were pretty good, and I think Shane and Ilya get stronger out of it, and I'm happy. And I searched up for the 7th book, which is coming out also about Shane and Ilya. I don't know, I'm happy to read it, but like I said, it comes out the 1st of June 2027, so I have to wait another year to read the rest. But I will keep these books probably forever in my collection, because over the last, I think, month, because I started reading Game Changers at the end of February and it's now almost the end of March, I read all of these books. So I would highly recommend, if you're searching for a queer ice hockey romance with a good plot. It is spicy. That's also the reason why I took off like 0.5 of my rating, because there was so much spice going on that I think you could have skipped a scene or 2 and it would still be fun and good to read. But yeah, 4.5 stars, which means the first book of this video is read. So we're gonna dump it there in the bookshelf. And then the second book we're gonna read is The Syndicator by Runix. I'm scared for my entire well-being, what the next 500 pages are gonna bring me. I did a little research, because I do have this book also on my iPad. And I was like, okay, how many pages are we getting? And then it said 255. I was like, excuse me, 255? So I'm hoping that's it's the correct file, but it does that sometimes. Especially if there's like lots of chapter art, you know, like this. Can I show this actually? Like if you go from POV to POV, it's like a whole chapter or a whole page. So, you know, some of these pages are not readable. They're not words on paper, not actually pages you have to read. So I think that's also a very good matter. So this is my next book, and I will keep you updated when I'm either halfway or when I end it or when I finish with it, because I think that once I start with this book I will not be putting it down. So I will see you in the next update. Okay, like I said I would, here is an update at like 60-ish%, like, doesn't seem like it, but I'm around 58% of the book. I will say this is so bingeable. Like, I read like 40% yesterday evening, and I was like, I have read so much. That's crazy, that's crazy. But I will say, it's nice seeing all the characters. You see all the characters from the different books. So that's fun. they're all solving this mystery together, and they're all having a separate plotline throughout the book because they're not all at the same place, but they are figuring out the same mystery. And then you still have a unknown person, their POV in the book. It's not a him, I don't know who it is, I think it's a him. Sprinkled throughout some chapters. That's fun. Like, obviously, I love the mystery element of it, and I want to know what happens, or what did happen, or who it is. Like, who is the syndicator? Why are they all so afraid of this person, or this group of people? So, I'm figuring it out. I don't think I can finish it today. And then we can start on releasing 10. By Chloe Walsh. I'm very excited for that. Like I said, I think I mentioned it earlier, but I have been pushing that book off for like months now. Months and months and months. So I'm happy to finally read it. But first we have to finish the syndicator, and when I have finished it, I will give the update what I think of it, and we can start on releasing 10. I have an update on the syndicator. I finished it like 5 minutes ago, I think, by now. What the fuck? What the hell? I'm gonna set on the rating that it's gonna be 3 stars. It's not bad. It's not entirely good. I don't know, after reading the first 5 books, I had such high hopes for the ending, because, you know, the whole syndicator thing, you know, this big ass main issue in the books. I was hoping for, like, I don't know, a more fun ending, or a more satisfying ending. I think that's the better word, a satisfying ending. Maybe I missed something while reading this, because I've been spacing out for like for the whole day while reading. So maybe I missed something, maybe it didn't click with me, but yeah, I don't know. I liked the epilogue at the end, like all 4 different couples having their own epilogue. I did like that. It's like, that was a fun ending. Just to see the end of all these characters back again. So 3 stars. I would still highly recommend the whole series, like the Predator, the Reaper. Everything is still a good book, especially the Emperor. I loved the Emperor, and then the finisher was a bit moi. I wouldn't say it's good, I wouldn't say it's bad. It was a sort of read, and then later, yeah, no. I binged like all these books in like basically 24 hours, I think, with each book. So it's a fun bingeable series, but for a book this thick, I would have hoped it went different. But no, like, there's so many pages, but I don't think that I will not remember much of this story, except for what happened in the other books. They're here somewhere. So yeah, kind of disappointed by this book, but overall I will look back on this series with joy, because I did enjoy reading the book and reading about these characters and being involved and everything. So, like I said, I would still highly recommend. But I knew this book was slightly more disappointing than the rest of the series, because I saw when it came out, it was a bit moi. A lot of people didn't like it, so I went into the book knowing that. But that's the second book finished of this reading vlog. With that being said, we're gonna start releasing 10. I'm scared, not only for the length of this book, but also for my mental health. I will not lie, my mental health has been down for the last couple of days. Is it an illness? My illness, disorder? I don't know. It's kind of a disorder. Has been acting up again after a week of going, like, it was going up and now it's going down again. So I'm in a good mental headspace to read a traumatizing book. I do want to try to read this physically because the last 3 books I read were mostly for digital reading. So I'm hoping this book will be fun. I don't know when you will see me. This book is thick. Like this book, I'm gonna check, has 730 pages. But I know that I will enjoy it because I read Keeping 13, Binding 13, all of the other books relatively fast as well. And, you know, I just need to be back with them. I pushed this book back way too much. And now we're gonna read it. And I will see you in the next update. Okay, I am halfway through releasing 10. This has taken me like a few hours. Is it fast paced? Yes. Is it gripping? Yes. Do we want to read more? Yes. Is it traumatic as fuck? Yes. There were some scenes I knew before going into this that were a few topics that I knew was going to be happening because I saw what was happening before when people originally read it, like last year when it came out and people were talking about it. So I knew the kind of stuff that was going to be happening in the book. And all I can say is what the hell. What the actual hell. If you don't know, the Boys of Thomas series is actually a series with a lot of, I want to say a lot of trauma. From book 1 till book 6, it's just trauma packed. And you need to love it. If you don't, you don't. And if you do, you do. You know, there's no shame in that. I am enjoying it. But sometimes, like yesterday evening, I was reading it. I was like at 25%, and there were things that was already happened. And I told my boyfriend what was happening. He was like, "Okay, the fuck." He gave me that reaction. I was like, "Yeah, same." And now something happened. I was like, "Oh no." So amazing. Yeah, is it? I don't know. I like it. You know, it's keeping me entertained. And I don't want. Okay, entertained is maybe not the correct word. Don't cancel me. But it is keeping me on the edge of my seat to keep on reading, to keep on continuing. And I knew that it was gonna be this way when I finally picked it up. But I don't know. I feel like I'm still not in the correct headspace to read this. But if you have any trauma of any physical or mental health issue, be aware, please. Be aware of the triggers in this book. I do think you can find them online. But the triggers in this book, they don't trigger me. I don't really have triggers as a reader. But if you do, and if you don't know for sure if it will trigger you, just check it out. Be aware what's gonna happen. And yeah. I will see you when I finished it. I don't think I will finish it today, but I am going over to my friend's house tonight after dinner, so you might see us reading there. We might be yapping. We love yapping together. But we will read more then, and I will see you when I finish it. I have my final update on Releasing 10. I finished this yesterday and I'm still not okay. Like, I tapped like the teeny tiniest bit, but there are 4 tabs. And if I go back to those 4 tabs, I might just start crying again. Like, what do you mean? I knew this book was going to be emotional. Don't get me wrong, I knew before going into it. What do you mean? I wanted to cry my heart out whilst reading it. But before I say my final rating, I love this. Like, I truly did. But if you want to continue, pick up the series. I think I mentioned before, but if you want to continue the series, pick it up, read this book, track those triggers first. The whole series is abusive, I want to say, like not just in this book, but overall in the series. I think each book has its own triggers and its own trigger warnings. So if you haven't read it yet, check those, because that's very important. Because like this book says, your mental health matters. And if you're not mentally stable, don't pick it up. Don't pick it up. Because, I don't know, sometimes I feel like if I'm going in a downward spiral and I read these kind of books, it just makes my own mental state worse than it already is. Because I'm gonna compare myself to a fictional character. So that's fun. Luckily I didn't. Because I don't have bipolar, luckily, let's just say that. But if you have, and if you, I don't know, if you even have urges to self-harm or whatever, maybe this is not the book for you. If you are in a downward spiral, if you're feeling okay, and you're, it doesn't trigger you, good for you, you can pick it up. But just know there are triggers, and know your own triggers. But overall, with that being said, I have rated this book 5 stars. Yeah, 5 stars for this book. Was this the best book ever? No. But it entertained me, and I don't want to say entertained. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not an entertaining book, but it kept me going through. Like, I finished this in like 2.5 days. Like, it was fast paced, it kept me on the edge of my seat, and I wanted to know what was happening next. So that is what I mean with it kept me entertained. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that in a way that I enjoyed it. I knew I would, because I liked the other 5 books in this series, but something about this book just, I don't know, it kept me off for so long. So yeah, I know there's a TV show coming out of Binding and Keeping 13. I want to know what they will do with it, and I hope they will capture everything perfectly, but I don't think they will. There's so much going on in these books that I don't think it could ever be translated from book to movie or book to screen. That's my opinion, but I gave this 5 stars. This is also the end of the last book in the series, so we're going to recap very quickly. So, rating 10 out of 5 stars. But we started this video off with The Long Game by Rachel Reed, which I gave 4.5 stars. Really liked it, and looking back, I am happy with a 4.5, because for like majority of the book it felt like a 5 stars, and then lots of spice happened, and I was like, no, it's not getting the full 5 stars, but it did give me the 5-star tingles. And then the second book we read was The Syndicator by Vernix, which is the last book in the series, and I gave that 3 stars. Overall it was a good book, but I think it let me down a bit towards the end. But I do think that if you like the other books in the series, you will like this too. With that being said, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and welcome to the big family. And if you want to follow me on my other socials, they will be linked down below, like always. And I will see you next Friday. Goodbye!